Jazzy for another live stream on Huddle In. Super excited to get into it. Jazzy's just recently released a new song on Sound. It's called Rain. It's featuring Miles Ryan Harris. Let me be specific there. And Jazzy, first and foremost, before we get into it, I want to know how you're feeling today.
I'm good. I'm very excited to be here. Like I told you on the back end, if y'all happen to hear a little toddler running around like a crazy little thing, we're just going to act like it never happened. I am her indentured servant, and so we move regardless. We're just going to do this regardless.
Yeah, parent life, parent life. I know how it goes. Uh, but I want to talk about the drop, and we'll talk about a little bit of the mechanics of the actual drop and the NFT release, but I want to get into the music too. So, and I think this is going to be the first one where we've got it queued up a little bit this way, so we can actually listen to the music because I want everybody to hear it as well too. But
Bet.
first and foremost, you did this drop on Sound. I can't lie, I really love that you went an actual number as opposed to open editions. No shade on open editions, but there's no need to do an open edition on everything. Um, and so far, it's doing really well. It's 19 out of 33. As we play some of this music in a little bit, you guys will hear it. If you're feeling it, go pick one up. It's not crazy expensive at all. It's zero point zero 0.03 ETH. Even if you're feeling it and you don't have the ETH, retweets always help. But what kind of went into the decision to make it like a limited edition as opposed to OE since everybody's doing OEs right now?
I will not throw any shade to OEs because, honey, my next drop is about to be an OE. The reason why this time around I chose 33 is a very particular reason. 33 is literally the age that my mom had me. And like we've kind of been like in this weird spot where we're like repairing our relationship. And I was like, 33. And it just kind of came to me. And I'm like, that's a good number because it's kind of like the birth of it all. And so there's like a little bit of symbolism in there. So yeah, that's really the only reason I chose 33. Usually I'll do like 7 or 11 for like the pre-sale and then like 25, but this time around 33.
Okay, cool. And obviously that fits in with the price 0.03 at 33.
Right.
That's
Cute.
I want to talk about the production on this because obviously I think most people know that you and Tips obviously work together on a lot of things, but you went a different direction with this production. Um, Divis, and then forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. But where did that come from? Like, where does that relationship come from? Or like, was it a song that was shot over to you, or were you guys working together? How did that go?
Yeah, so honestly, what happened is oh, there's the toddler. Honestly, what happened is I shot my shot. The thing about me is sometimes I just want things and I see things before they've even happened. And so I had been watching Divis for quite some time, along with Miles Ryan Harris. I've been watching both of them. I keep an eye out on every person that I want to collaborate. I'm constantly seeing like what you're doing, how you carry yourself, because it's really important for me to work with good people and people with good intentions, like in the space. And so, yeah, I reached out to Divis and I was like, hey, I heard something that you did in FSR. I would love a beat pack. And so he ended up sending me like a beat pack, like I feel like the same day, like within an hour or two. And I just like went in and I was like, well, since he sent it so fast, like I'm gonna write to it fast. Like I'm gonna show him that I'm not playing around. Like I want you to know I'm a professional, et cetera, et cetera. And so yeah, that's literally how it happened. I jumped into his DMs. I basically like asked him, hey, can we do this? He said yes, and then the rest is history.
Shoot or shoot. I love it. I love it. I love that there was this is actually like a large collaborative piece here. So you got Divis on the production, you've
Mhm.
got Miles Ryan Harris vocally with you,
Yeah.
Cam mixed and mastered it, and you got Jamie on the cover art. So like getting in the bag. When it came to actually writing, I know you said you wanted to write it kind of fast just to show that you weren't messing around or anything like that. Did it just kind of come out naturally, or like is this kind of did you have this one kind of like loaded in the chamber, so to speak?
I never have anything like preloaded in the chamber. I think as far as it will get for me, as far as like pre-planning any type of song, is I might have like one line or a subject matter just in the notes of my iPhone. But this time around, I had something specific just to talk about, like from my own experiences that I just had to get off my chest. Like, let's keep it real. I feel like every artist has that time when they're like, you know what? It's really out of my hands, but I could write a song about it. And so that's literally exactly what I did. I was, just I just really like the song. I didn't write it in 5 minutes. I created like a melody in 5 minutes. So I still had to hash out like a lot of the details by circling back and by sitting with it a little bit to make sure like the story made sense. Um, but yeah, the melody part came together pretty quickly. And that always comes to me fairly quickly. It's just a gift from above. And so yeah, it wasn't crazy hard for me. I won't say it was fully effortless because it was very intentional, especially like the story that I wrote. Like I wanted to get it all out and tell the full story to where people could close their eyes and like listen and really see what I was talking about. But yeah, that melody part really did come to me like 5 minutes or so.
That's great. That's great. And we're gonna play it here in just a second. That way people can kind of hear. And there's some different parts I'd like to pause it and ask you some questions about because I really liked it. And I do think that like it paints a very obviously I don't know the scenario. It paints a very specific scenario and it is very kind of vulnerable, if you will, too. But I feel like that's probably how else would you go about it? Like, and I guess it's kind of a rhetorical question, but like, how else would you create it? Like, if it's not like actually what you experience, right? Like, what else would you do?
It's so funny that you asked that because I will say, so one thing that I put like in the caption area of the sound drop for Rain is like everything that I write about isn't fake. And that's true, but some of it hasn't happened to me. So I am the youngest of five kids. My sister is a full 12 years older than me. So she was in college when I was, I don't know, super young. And so I saw a lot. Like I saw her heart broken. I saw her like men are trapped. Like I saw it all. She went to Cal State LA, which was super popping back in the day. But yeah, I saw a lot as a little kid. Like it really and truly felt like I was actually the only child in a lot of ways, just because of the age gaps between my mom's children. And so yeah, like nothing I write about is fake, but sometimes it can be like a third person scenario too, for sure.
So that's actually super interesting to me, and I like that you're able to do that and kind of internalize maybe the emotions of it, and see, which is going to lead me to ask you: Are you an empath?
I don't want to fully say that I'm an empath, but yes, I have those some of those qualities. I can't fully embrace it just because I feel like when it comes to empaths, a lot of time it affects them like physically. Whereas I'm like, no, fuck that. No, seriously though, like I feel like it does affect me in some ways because I'm like, oh no, like I see you, like I really hear what you're saying and I want you to be better. But does it sit with me? Usually no. Usually I'm able to have like a conversation with someone, try to figure out how we could get to a solution. And then like once I've walked away from it, I'm away from it, you know?
I feel you. I feel you. Well, that's good. Kind of the best of both worlds, right? So like you're able to
Yeah.
feel it, but like not like actually like
I'm not
internalize it
heartless.
too much. So,
I'm
so
not heartless at all. I hear what you're saying. I'm gonna help you to feel better. And then when we both get up, like it may still come back to you after a little bit because it happened to you and it's still fresh, but you will feel a little bit better. Like I always want to make sure that people feel safe with me.
that's fair. That's fair. And then last question before we play the music: What's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Leo, baby. Period.
Mm, fine,
Fire
fine.
sign. I'm
I'm an
very much
Aries,
so a Leo,
so
very much so.
cool. Well, we'll get along. I'm an Aries sign, so we're good.
My guy.
All right, guys. So we're gonna sample the music here. This is Rain. We'll play for a little bit and then we'll pause it and talk a little bit. And then I want to hear Miles' part on this too. I've listened to it, but I want everybody to be able to hear it as well. But here we go. So
trust you. What you meant is you struggle with importance. I seen something different in your tone. Love was hidden. I admit that I needed your loving. We're at a crossroad, and I just don't know where I belong. So breathe down on me, baby. Breathe down on me, yeah. Breathe down on me, baby. Yeah. Breathe down on me, yeah.
All right, we'll pause it right there. I think that's a great first verse, and there's a lot going on there, but I'd like to hear it from your lips, as opposed to giving you my interpretation of it.
I want to hear what your interpretation of it is, okay? Because listen, did was the message clear? I don't know.
I think well, I think it probably was, but yeah, you go.
I feel like music is really about perception too. Like, I obviously will be able to tell my story, but then it's what you take away from it. And it may not fully be like 100% what I wanted to get across, but it's the things and like the percent that actually helps you, and things that, you can use to hopefully apply to your own situation or your own life in whatever way. So for me, what do I even say? You say you love it when I said I trust you. What I meant is you struggle with. Okay. So that first line, I feel like is kind of insane. And I felt like I snapped on that because what I'm saying is like, you say you love when I say I trust, but really you just struggle with feeling important. Like you're one of those people who never feel seen or never feel heard. And so you found a person that needs something from
Mm.
you too. So now you feel important. And that's what I meant by that. And then
Well, that's crazy though. I want to give you props on that real quick because like I feel that one. So like it came across to me, right? Like you and like we'll talk about the relationship dynamic in here, whether it's you or somebody else, but the person that is speaking is feeling like almost like on the verge of heartbreak already because they're coming to a realization that like shit, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be.
mhm, mhm.
But I'll let you
It's
keep going.
definitely, I feel like it's definitely like a play on power too. And it's kind of like it's hard for me because see the thing about me is I write a song, I get it all out, and then I'm over it. Like I really don't even want to talk too deeply about it because I don't want to be re-triggered. But I'll say that this is really like not only just like a dynamic of like power, but it's also like, can I trust you and can you trust me? And then like ultimately it's like I want the rain to replenish both. That was really like the storyline. So two people needing to be watered and needing to be fed in a certain way, and then the rain actually doing that for the both of them.
Mm. Oh, in your bag for this one. What's going on?
Yeah, come on, come on.
Um,
Look,
I want to encourage everybody. We're going to play more of it, but if you like what you're hearing so far, or if you want to go listen to it for yourself, go to sound.xyz, type in Jazzy, Jazii. It is the song called Rain featuring Miles Ryan Harris. And we'll let it play a little bit more. We'll take another little break in there, and then we'll get into Miles' verse too.
I said what I needed. You answered with good treatment. But there's some things that just come a little too late. Maybe another life, another time, we'll meet and give it a try. Wish you the sweetest goodbye. We're at a crossroad, and I just don't know where I belong. So breathe down.
All right. So you went full heartbreak on there. I felt like
Break.
but also I want to talk about like the I feel like you really, really complimented obviously the production. It complimented you vice versa. Like it's a very good mesh, but also the hook. So what struck me with this is obviously I think the songwriting was done very well, but the hook in particular is it's one of those little catchy things, like, you get that in your head and, like, "I love you, Jesse," but damn it, like, sometimes stuff gets stuck in your head and you're like, "Stop it," that type of thing, but, uh, talk to me about the 2nd verse there.
So the second verse is honestly just a continuation of the first. It was me just trying to complete the story. So when I write music now, I'm not necessarily caught up on song structure. Like you can talk to any like Billboard 100 writer who's written like these super popular songs, and usually they'll tell you like there's a way to do this, like there's a way to write your song. But that's what I love about Web3 because I don't care about any of that. Like, I'm going to sing it the way that I hear it in my head because if I don't, the story may be shifted in a way and go in a way that I don't want it to go into. And so, yeah, like the second verse is really just a continuation of the first. It kind of rounded out the story for me because obviously, it goes right back into like the pre and then the hook and then it goes into Miles's verse. And so I only had like a small window of time to kind of like get across all the things that I personally wanted to say before I handed my baby off to Miles. And so, yeah, it was just like a continuation of the first, but I'll say that I love this because I literally have like the lyrics in front of me because sometimes I blank. But when I said I seen something different in your tone, your love was hidden. I admit that I needed your loving, and I think that this kind of speaks to just like a lot of people who aren't honest with themselves. And I just don't feel like being dishonest to myself about feelings or about anything anymore, whether it's in the past or the present. Like, I just want to talk about it, get it off my chest, and then move forward. Like, that's my big thing for 2023. Like, get it off my chest and move forward instead of like sitting with the emotions. And so that's really what like the second verse is about, like me saying exactly how I felt and telling you exactly what I needed. And then listen, I move on to my life, aka the pre-hook, okay?
Um, I in my mind, and I'm sure you have too, can imagine visuals to this. Do you have any plans to conceptualize visuals and build that out?
Where's Jamie when you need them? So listen, the thing is, I do love the idea of a visual. I just do not want to do it in the incorrect way. I will shoot an entire visual, and if I see it and I'm like, no, then it's a big no. Like we're just gonna scrap that. And so I just if a visual is to come from this, which I honestly don't think it will, but if it happens to, it has to be right. Like I want to be in full blown movie rain, just coming down with one small little see-through umbrella, sitting outside with a boom box, like Cam said. I don't know. But if I was to do it, I would just want to do it right. Like that's my big thing too for 2023 is really just like making sure that what I hear in my head is exactly what you guys hear or close to it, because obviously perception is a thing. And then the same thing, like when I see something in my head, I want to be able to create that exact vision and make it come to life.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking to myself, like, so many I can remember so many, like, R&B videos, like, In the Rain, so obviously, and
Listen,
it being named so the first one that always comes to mind when you hear Rain is New Edition for me, right? So, like, um, I feel like that would be a cool little throwback thing. Obviously, it's not the same message, but yeah, yeah.
yeah, see, when I think about Rain, I think about One Wish by Ray J and how he was dancing his heart out in the street, singing the song. I mean, I don't even know what he was saying, but like, if I had one wish, that song. But then also, I didn't know if people were going to see and like understand the old to 90s R&B with the hook Rain, which is like SWV.
Mm.
Um, how does it go? So just rain down on me. Let your love just fall like raindrops rain Oh, me. That song. So that's actually what I was thinking about. Like when I wrote the song, I'm like, I hope they don't think that I'm like still in the sauce. I just want them to know that I was inspired by it, if that makes sense. So hopefully I
No,
get
I feel you. I think you did a great job, and you know, it was in the group chats the other day. You asked for like favorite, you know, 90s women R&B, and yeah, I threw in
Mhm,
SWE. I'm a big SWE fan. So,
mhm.
without further ado, I want to play the rest of this so everybody can hear Miles verse, and then we'll
Yeah.
kick back in here.
Yeah, early mornings, late apologies. I know this sentiment doesn't stop the resentment that you got for me. If I could go back, things would be different, but then again, you know that. Tears falling, water under the bridge, the crossroads, and I knew it wasn't the right time. Word to Miss Badu, I see you next lifetime. Dreaming, I ain't been to sleep yet. I needed affirmation, you just needed your needs met. Whoa, misdirected. Miscommunication, you was talking, but I interjected. I should've listened, should've loved you, never played round. Karma came round, cause I was fucking up, but you stayed down. Now I let it.
All right, so I have to say, I think Miles caught the mood, caught your flow. I think he did a great job on that. How did you feel when you first heard it?
First, I was shocked. He sent it to me. I feel like within just a couple of hours too. It was very insane. Like I was on my computer watching like Netflix or something, and at like 12:30 a.m. or 12:45, something crazy, I see like something come through from Miles, and he saved in my phone as MRH. So you can't mistake him for no other Miles, okay? And I was like, "Is this it?" I was shook, and so I went into the bathroom and I was like, let me listen to this with like the acoustics of the bathroom. And I was like, dog, like he really did this. Cause me, I like when I collaborate with people, I want us to be able to fully collaborate. Like I want to be able to give you feedback the same way, you would offer me feedback for something that you care about, right? And so, I wasn't sure if I would have to offer feedback, but I didn't. I mean, this is Miles we're talking about too. So I really didn't think I was going to have to, but I was prepared. Um but no, he killed that. He killed it and brought like the exact energy that I really wanted to embody. I think that sometimes it's always not always, but sometimes it's weird when you have like the masculine and the feminine come together because sometimes it's like overbearing. But his vibe was just right, so it was perfect.
Yeah, that I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think he caught it. I think he caught your whole flow of your story. I think he caught it as like he knew he was like maybe it's not the best way to put it, but like quote unquote defeated in that like, he's taking an L right here. I love the Erica Badu reference, see you next
Yeah,
lifetime type of thing. Like it was very
Jesus.
good.
I almost screamed in my bathroom at like 1 a.m. It was fantastic. I mean, I feel like there are certain type of artists, and certain type of artists are known for like their storytelling, right? And he's one of them where again you can just really like close your eyes and just immerse yourself in the experience instead of like being busy. Like this is the type of song I feel like will make somebody stop and actually listen rather than like constantly like move. I want you to be able to like feel it.
Yeah. Also too, so I don't know your proximity to Miles, but in the event, I'm just gonna, throw it out there. In the event that we got visuals or something like that, like it could be cool that like maybe this was on like a phone call vibe,
That would be cute.
necessarily have to be in the same location.
That would be super cute. Yeah, but you gotta catch him when he has his fresh cut. We gotta be very particular because you gotta catch him when the lineup is fresh, okay? We just had a conversation, and I'm like, "Bro, when I tell you I understand, because me, my hair has to be fresh and at 100% in order for me to operate at full capacity, okay? For me to feel confident." And so, yeah, that would be super cute.
So I might contradict you just on this single point. This might be a good time if ever he were to look disheveled on camera.
That's
This
true.
might be the vibe for it.
That's true.
And convincing him
But
to do it might be another thing.
Miles not gonna do that. He's not gonna get on camera looking crazy. I don't think he will anyway. I'll have to check with him on the back end for sure to see. But me, listen, not for a video or nothing. Well, maybe I would. Maybe I would. I'll never say never for sure. Stop.
It could be, little parts of it. But look, I've really enjoyed this. I've actually liked this format of going through and talking about the song piece by piece and your construction of it. I do want to encourage anybody, if you liked what you heard, go to sound.xyz, type in Jazzy, Jazii, look up the song Rain. You can mint it there. If you want to refer, you can refer people and earn 5% for referring. You can retweet, all these sorts of things. We got to pay these bills. So got to encourage everybody, if you have not downloaded Huddle In, download HUDDLN. We got Jazzy on there. We actually have Miles on there too. Follow both of them. They've got put out some great content. But I want to leave the floor to you, if there one, where we can find you, and two, if there's any dates or anything or any kind of message that you want to leave us with.
Yeah, definitely. So you can actually find me across all socials. My socials name is Mod Jazzy. That's MODJAZII. And I would also love for you to visit my newly constructed website. It's jazzymusic.co, and that's JAZII music.co. It includes a subscription button where you'll be getting like a personal newsletter from me talking about content creation, entrepreneurship, and my music, along with some other cool things that I have in the works. I'll definitely be at ETH Denver. I'll be moderating a panel for UVR. I submitted or am submitting something for the FSR exhibition. And so, yeah, I have some cute little things coming up. I definitely want to drop an EP this year for sure, too.
Ooh, alpha. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that. Once again, I appreciate the time. Everybody tap in. If you've watched now, you can also catch after the fact on Twitter. We'll put this up on streaming so you can go through and listen and share with your friends if you want to encourage anybody to listen. Thank you, Jazzy, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.